So a bright star in pro wrestling back in 1986 was Magnum TA. I really enjoyed watching him. He was, he was just getting his career started. Well, tragically, on October 14th, 1986, he suffered a very bad car accident here in Charlotte, North Carolina. So I'm going to take you over to one of the areas in Charlotte where it all started. Was at Bennigan's, where he pulled away from in his car. So let's go. And I brought you along today to just see this bit of history that happened with Magnum TA, where a lot of the wrestlers used to hang out, where I used to hang out when I was younger. The way I met a lot of the wrestlers in person was that I would go here to Bennigan's, hang out. They would buy me beers, everything back in the 80s. It was hilarious, but it was a fun time. Got to meet all the horsemen, get to meet like Ric Flair all the time. My parents actually knew Rick pretty well, so he'd buy me beers all the time back then. Met Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson, Barry Windham, all those guys that would hang out. Dick Murdoch, those guys would stop by here, hang out. And but yeah, let me show you where Bennigan's used to be and where all this stuff happened with Magnum TA. So Sharon Road is still a very busy road, always has been. And right here, where this complex is, this shopping complex, which here where the T-Mobile is, this is where the Bennigan's used to be, where we used to hang out. And I'll post a picture here of how it used to look like at one time. But yeah, this is where all the wrestlers would hang out. The Hornets would hang out after games back in the 80s. Right here. I remember a bank used to be over here. It used to be a little bank. And over here was just all kinds of woods. But yeah, this was Bennigan's right here. A lot of fun memories there. But yeah, I used to go there quite a bit. Took my dates there, hang out, have a good dinner, drink some beer with the wrestlers. You always used to feel a pat on my shoulder. Turn around, there was Rick, the nature boy, asking how my mom was. And my dad had already passed away at that time. He knew that, but he always asked about mom because he was always concerned about her at that time. So yeah, but he awesome guy Rick was. But yeah, what happened was that night, it's on a Tuesday night, and October 14th, I believe, is a rainy night, and Magnum had just gotten back from a flight, and I believe he dropped off Dick Murdoch here at Bennigan's, and he was going to go on home. Well, it was pretty treacherous rain. I do remember that night raining. At that time, I had already left, so I wasn't there when Magnum had stopped by, but I heard about it the next morning. Everybody did. Everybody was pretty much upset at what had happened. We thought we had lost him. I mean, it was just the wrestlers, man, they were just very upset. I know that he went to Charlotte Memorial Hospital to get looked at, and of course he crushed some vertebrae and he became paralyzed. But Magnum was in his third year of professional wrestling at that time, and he was going to be a superstar, big time. And I remember he had told a story about Andre the Giant told him he had to get a gimmick because he really liked him. And Magnum PI was a big thing back then, and he kind of resembled Tom Selleck in a way. So he took on Magnum TA, and that's how he got the name Magnum TA. But yeah, this is where Bennigan's used to be, and all the wrestlers used to hang out. But yeah, this is where he left that night, and eventually had his accident. So we're going to go down Fairview, which is right over here, towards Sardis, and I'll kind of show you approximately where that happened. So right now, we are on Fairview Road. Been up and down this road thousands of times, and guys used to drag their cars through here back in the 80s. But you'd be prone to go pretty quick on this road. But it's not a good thing to do, especially on a rainy night. So I'm sure at that point, he was just wanting to get home, and, he was tired. But this is Fairview, and we're going to hit Sardis in just a little bit. What I'll do is I'll speed it up, the video, and show you the route you would have taken that night down this way on Fairview to Sardis Road. almost there. I want to say it did kind of happen after the turn, not too long after it, because there is a sharp corner up here on Sardis Road, and you're about to see it. So right up here at this next intersection is Sardis. So and then we're gonna take a right up here, get over there, and right on the right there is Providence Day School. A couple of my friends went there, and I actually knew some of the teachers as well at Providence Day. But here's Sardis Road. You can see right there the street sign is Sardis Road. So right here, it would have been a turn. It wouldn't have been like this. So we're going to turn down this way. But I don't think it was soon after he got on Sardis, because you're going to see a couple cool little turns here that I won't say cool, but if they're wet, they're going to be dangerous. Like right here, if you're going too fast, right here, you're gonna lose control and go probably straight ahead across that medium. So I'm thinking it was probably right around here is where it happened, because that turn has not changed. That turn has been there for a long time, because most of this is pretty much a straight shot. I could be wrong, but I would think that it would be on a turn like that back there. You know, you accelerate. A lot of people, you know, I know my friends who have sports cars, I've had them come out of a turn, and then boom, you slam on the gas, and you go into something like that, you're gonna probably hydroplane or lose control. Well, we'll go a little bit further down. I really don't think down this way, except for maybe here, but the other one was much sharper than the other one, than the one we just went through. So these, and again, I don't think the road was as wide as it was back then. I think they've widened it since '86. So, but yeah, this is Sardis Road, and he was heading home. I think he lived right off of Sardis, had an apartment at the time. But Magnum, man, he was an awesome wrestler. He's an awesome person, period. He's still doing stuff, very active in the community, very busy man. I see him once in a while out and about. I never really approach him. Just to me, it's Magnum TA. He's a super nice guy. I just remember him as the wrestler. And, but yeah, his career, man, it was taking off. But yeah, good looking guy, athletic as heck. And it was just really sad when that happened. But yeah, just the what if, but it was meant to be that way. That's the way I look at it now. You look back, there's a reason for it. And we all had something to learn from it, I think. You can be on top of the world, and it can be taken away from you in a heartbeat, in a second. So love who you have, hold them tight, do the best you can, be nice. Karma, man. I believe in karma too. I think it can come back and haunt you in the way you treat people and the way you do things. It can. Be productive, be positive, be good to one another. That's all. It's easy. It's not hard to do. I know sometimes people get on your nerve, but they do on mine. But you just got to know how to restrain yourself. But yeah, Magnum is still productive today, doing things, being active. He's involved in all kinds of stuff, and it doesn't mean to stop when something like that happens in your life. It means go forward, do even better, do 10 times better. Don't limit yourself. But yeah, that's what it's all about. But that was the history of that whole incident right there, about Magnum, right in this area where that happened. So, all right, we're gonna head on back. So now I wanted to show you another location where the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, at one time had his gym, his Gold's Gym, the Nature Gym. Hope I can get through here. Yeah, I can. Okay. So see, there was a huge, gigantic this building is. Looks like it's condos now. That was a parking lot back in the days, back in the late 80s and 90s. But it's all condos now. And at one time, I'm trying to see if I can go across here. This is known as the Barclays now. This, before it was the Nature Boys gym, it was the Eastern Airlines ticket center. So, oh, there we go. See where that scrim is right there? It says Mill Creek. And this beautiful fountain that is here now. That's where it was. Right there. It's gone. There's a roundabout here. And we are going to do a roundabout. Wow. But it's called the Barclay now. It looks like it's a hotel now. Yep, the Barclay. This fancy hotel is here now. This was a huge parking lot at one time. Check that out. Wow, fancy. But yeah, this was Nature Boys right in front of you, right there where the Mill Creek, that scrim is. That was a gym. It was a huge gym. So if you remember going there, well, it's not there anymore. But that's where it was, right there. And I remember when I used to train, because I used to race bicycles at one time, I'd run to Rick out here in the parking lot, chit chat with him, come out every now and then. This is back in the late 80s, early 90s. And he'd be there. And I'd say, hey, doing? We'd chit chat. And of course, he'd ask about mom. So, how's your mom? You know, and but yeah, that's where his gym used to be. There was a time where I was going to join. I just didn't have time to. But yeah, I'd run into him, ride my bike through the parking lot, head back home, because I lived right down the street here at that time, and cut through here. But this whole area has changed since then. But I thought I'd share that with you too. Just a little bit of trivia, a little bit of history right there of the Nature Boys old gym. So the next piece of history in wrestling history I'm going to take you to, it's kind of a drive sequence that was done with the Four Horsemen when they ambushed Dusty Rhodes. Yep, I think it was Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, maybe Ole too, maybe the three of them in the car, and they ambushed Dusty Rhodes. And we're gonna go there real quick. I want to show you where that happened. It's pretty cool, and it's actually less than a mile, literally, from where we live. Okay, I'm going to take you down for a bonus. Wrestling memory lane, right down South Boulevard right here. You might recognize this road, especially right there, the copycat carpet tile. It's where the Four Horsemen pulled out to pursue Dusty Rhodes, right down this road here. And let me take you right down here. You're going to recognize this. I'm going to try to match it up with the video of the original ambush the Four Horsemen did to Dusty Rhodes. And right down here, I'm going to take a right turn at the bottom of this hill. And this is Briar Bend right here. I'm going to turn here and see on the left right here where that building is, where it says For Lease. Right here, go by it. It's not there anymore. But right here is where, I'm going to turn in there real quick, just kind of cut through right here. Dusty Rhodes would have pulled right in here in this driveway, and right here was the old building where Crockett Promotions used to be at one time. Right here, we're going through the parking lot where Dusty got ambushed by the Horseman and got his leg broke. It was a leg or arm, it may have been his arm. But yeah, right here is where it all happened. I'll just kind of share that with you. But yeah, this building here, it's not there. It was a smaller building, but that was Crockett Promotions, where you would have seen all the wrestlers doing their promos for their wrestling matches, right there at that location. So we're back now, and I hope you liked that little journey through back in time, especially if you're a wrestling fan. Yeah, I mean, everybody wanted to be a wrestler back then. At least I did, and a lot of my friends wanted to be wrestlers at the time. I mean, Charlotte is the town for wrestlers. A lot of people got their start here with the Crockett Promotions, and probably some of the best matches in wrestling history was right here in North Carolina, in Charlotte, Greensboro, Raleigh, even in Columbia, South Carolina. Some of the other arenas spread out throughout North and South Carolina and the South, Mid-Atlantic. But yeah, Mid-Atlantic Wrestling was the deal. Georgia Championship Wrestling, WCW, it started down here too. I also liked watching the Florida Championship Wrestling. That was a lot of fun too, with Gordon Soley, one of my favorite announcers. But yeah, some of the classic wrestlers that you enjoyed growing up with. Pretty much a lot of them started right here, Crockett Promotions, right here in Charlotte. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed our little trip through town. It's a lot more to see about wrestling, man. I remember when Roddy Piper lived in his car right here in Charlotte. It's crazy. That was a long time ago when he first got his start. But yeah, so stay tuned for more to come, and I appreciate you hanging out with me. And please subscribe if you haven't. More cool stuff coming up really soon. All right, guys, you take care. Bye-bye.